Hello, everybody. This is Mike Kilgore coming to you today in August the 28th, getting ready to do our weekend review here for Trident. And boy, a lot of really cool things happening this week. So glad you guys could join us here. I'm recording this here about 1:30 on Sunday afternoon, and just going to kind of be reviewing through some of the things that we're doing over the last week or so, and what's happened on the contractors only page that's here. So let's take a look at our members that are here. And looks like we've got 63 new members this week, so that's good. So we're going to pop in and do a little bit of a welcome here to all the people that have joined in from all over the country. As you can see, there's a bunch of names of them here. So let's welcome our new members. So if you see this video, go in there and say hello to everybody. Looks like we've got quite a few really cool people. A lot of them joined in from the training that we did up in Charlotte. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that here in just a little bit. So let me hit this post here and just say welcome to everybody inside of the group. So that should be happening right now. There we go. And all right. So let's go back to the actual page itself and take a look and see what's happened this week. See if we can scroll down a little bit. So there was our welcome post right there. Got the new members all joining in. And as you can see, there's myself and Brad. Obviously, I'm this guy right here doing some spraying. And Brad, we had a really good training this week up there in Charlotte. And we're going to talk about that here in a second here. Stephen posted up just a little while ago regarding break wall. After overnight rain, I guess really any other saturation where there's no heat and sun to dry out the concrete. Is it normal for concrete to become damp even when sealed? I figured eventually the water will absorb into the concrete, but I want to make sure. With break wall and with seawall and with barrier itself there, we really want to make sure that when you're using any type of water-based concrete sealant that you're giving it at least 24 hours of no rain afterwards, because it takes that long for the chemical composition to actually do what it's supposed to do. So one of the things to keep in mind is that when you're using a water base like break wall that's there, when you put it down, you can put it on a damp surface, but yet it also needs to have 24 hours of no moisture afterwards, because that's how long it takes for the carbon dioxide to interact and create what's called the lotus effect. Now, you'll still get some of the repellency and everything, but also realize that water is a vapor. And sometimes when water gets on top of concrete that's there, making sure that one thing for sure is that you saturate the concrete very, very well with the product. Not just a top coat, but saturate that concrete so it has a chance to be able to work itself down into it and create a good penetrating protection as deep as you possibly can inside of that that concrete. Now, I tend to average around anywhere between 700 and 800 square feet per 5 gallons of break wall. Even though it says it goes up to 1,000, I'm a little bit heavier handed with that. So in my estimations, whenever I'm doing any type of concrete, it's going to be basically around that 800 square feet per pail of break wall, seawall, or barrier. Also, that when that water is sitting up on top and it's doing some evaporation, there's a chance that the concrete can actually bring in some of that evaporation into the concrete, and a little bit of moisture will show to where it looks like it's getting wet. It's primarily a moisture penetration that's happening inside of that concrete that's there. So that's why I tried to answer that there for you there, Stephen. Eric posted up, does anyone have any EDDM flyers that have worked well, looking for any designs? I know that there has been some guys that have done the EDDM, that's every door direct mail, for some of those people that are putting that together. I don't know if anybody has posted any of those on here. It doesn't look like it as of now, but hopefully somebody will post up maybe one of their postcards that they used inside of this group here. Eric brought up a situation here which we see quite often, is the moons that happen from tire shine. So primarily a car drives up in here, they're cleaning their tires, they're spraying around the outside, and basically tire shine is a silicone mixture that's there. So what it's doing is when it's wet, it's providing a barrier that's there, almost like very similar to like what seawall, break wall, and barrier do. So there's a couple of different options. Specifically on pavers, I don't suggest just sealing the whole driveway. If it was concrete, one of the ways to make sure that that goes away is to seal the actual concrete with a silicone siloxane so they can continue to keep on spraying their cars. They're still going to be putting moons there, but you're not going to see it because the whole thing is going to be sealed as if you were to put tire shine on the whole entire driveway. So, but seeing how these are brick pavers, you do want to remove this. And a couple of ways of doing that. There's some stuff that's called pink stuff that has a hydrofluoric acid base to it. And that's what Jason Thornton talked about here a little bit, is that you can also use aluminum brightener is another option, as well as easy off oven cleaner. Now, to know that you've got the right oven cleaner, look on the back of it. If it's yellow and it says easy off oven cleaner, and you see on the back and it says this stuff will kill you if you do anything, that's the right one. That's the one you want to use. But aluminum brightener has the hydrofluoric acid that's inside of it that's there. You can spray it on. It's almost like removing efflorescence to a degree. You spray it down, it fizzes up. That's breaking the bond between the silicones and siloxanes. Then you can even give it a little bit of a scrub to help it a little bit more, but most of the time you can just let it dwell on there. I typically, if it's a aluminum brightener, at least dilute it 1:1 and pre-damp the surface, so that you're not going in straight full tilt into it and don't risk etching any of the pavers. So that's one thing that you do want to remove prior, before you do any of the sealing that's there. Ryan posted up this really amazing rig that's here. You can see these are 10-gallon-a-minute machines that are all put together. What a fantastic build that Ryan's put together over there. Looks like we've got a couple of roof pumps over here. As we get around to the other side, we're going to see a couple of proportioning valves that are there to be able to concentrate in their cleaners and sealers. Really nice build there with some automatic hose reels that are there, so that it's easy from grinding and putting that all together. Really nice rig that you've put together there, Ryan. Let's see here. Mike joined us in Charlotte with the training that was there. Got some great training. Really excited about it. Sent a message back to me, says I'm ready to get going here. Some of the comments that came in, just like everybody else, they get started. They need a little bit of something to be able to show some of the customers along the way. And so I posted up the before and after picture of the training itself. And let me see here if I can open that up. Sure can. Maybe. See if that did it. Did that do it? Sure did. All right. So you can see the before pictures of the training that we did here, as well as the after pictures. And we did this with fieldstone sand, as well as with Cat 5. So we cleaned that all up. And so then there's been a few people in here. Randy shared one of his before and after of one coat of Cat 5. And then you've got Dustin that's posted quite a few pictures up in here to be able to utilize for some of that marketing that's there. So it's all about helping each other out. I realize that some people don't want to share their pictures to other people, and that's perfectly fine. But this is an opportunity to where we could help out somebody else that is getting ready to get started in that central North Carolina area here. So what do we have after this? Danny, my pump sprayer busted a seal today and I don't have extras to fix it. I have a sealing job tomorrow. Can I use a type of sprayer that I can buy locally to get the job done tomorrow? Absolutely. There's all kinds of them that are out there. I prefer one of the sprayers that I really like is at Lowe's, and it's the Deck and Seal. I think it's Deck and Seal, Deck and Spray pump sprayer. It's got a couple of different nozzles. I tend to use the brown nozzle inside of it, but that's good. A good little pump sprayer. Obviously, you can go into the Chapin Extremes. But in a pinch, a pump sprayer, I prefer to use that. I believe it's 2.5 gallons is how big that is to be able to use that pump sprayer that's there. We got Lonnie was out in Dallas, Texas, and walking a big commercial project with Chris at Seal Pro, and barriers going down there. Can't wait to see it packed with folks that are there. You can see a huge project out there that they're getting ready to do with Chris at Seal Pro. So Lonnie was out there all this last week. Believe he's on his way back now. As you can see, the support with Lonnie going out there with Chris, coming out and helping the team. As you can see, the support is needed and greatly appreciated. And that's great that we were able to go out and help them there in Dallas, Texas. Here is the actual training that we did with Brad. Brad is the new sales rep that is covering North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, the northern part of Georgia, and the eastern side of Tennessee that's there. So that's his territory that he's working in, and as you can see, we'll just kind of zip through some of these pictures. This was the before picture. They did have polymeric sand. You can see that it was potentially had some sealer that somebody did a long time ago, because in these joints here, it really didn't seem like a calcium. It seemed more like an old sealer that may have been down inside of the joints and not properly dried out. So we went through and dug this out here. You can see that there was some lines that were in here that I believe that when they were turbo tipped before, you could see this pretty dominant that was there, that they really hammered along the edges that was right there. But for the most part, everything on this patio looked fantastic when we got done with it. As you can see, we've got a little bit of everything. Here's the new wet sand we're going to be talking about sometime here real soon. It's our new reactive resin sand. We didn't use it here, but I did show it to the contractors that was there just inside the bucket, and the swats, the little pucks that we had. This pump right up in here is the pump that Rob Harris uses and makes. So if you're interested in a really cool pump that is easy to use, easy to maintain, very difficult to pull over, this pump stand and pump is fantastic. It's a 1.1 gallon pump there. This thing is made out of pure aluminum. It has a place for the battery in the back, a commercial grade on and off switch, waterproof. So it was fantastic. I got to use it while I was there, and just the way in which it sprayed was amazing. We have our 1, 2, 3 cleaning. We have the white water, point break, and wipeout. We mixed those down. That was 1-to-1 dilution for the white water, 1-to-1 for point break, and 3-to-1 for wipeout. And then all three of them were downstream. When we talk about the 3-2-1 or the 1-2-3 or however people want to put it together cleaning method, it's the idea of cleaning for efflorescence, cleaning for organics, neutralizing, and deep cleaning. That's what it is. So for instance, wipeout or white water, we dilute 1-to-1, then downstream, surface clean, rinse out. Point break, 1-to-1, downstream, surface clean, rinse out. Same thing with wipeout, but 3-to-1, surface clean, rinse out, surface clean, then rinse out. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's a lot of surface cleaning. That's a lot of time. These these projects, we've already turbo tipped out the joints there. We're surface cleaning, but a majority of the reason that we're using the surface cleaner is because you're supposed to agitate to kind of help lift and remove. So by using the surface cleaner quickly, you're actually agitating with the surface cleaner and cleaning at the same time. So that's the 1, 2, 3. We've got all of our tools. Here's that deck and more. That's what it is, deck and more. That's that sprayer that I was talking about. And of course, here is our trusty broom that we love that's there, with a lot of tools. And then this is our clean out agent that we use, which is Penellan that we use. So there's the 3 different types of cleaners. There's Fabuloso, there's Pine Sol, there's Pelinan. Oh, sorry, my dog wanted to say hello to everybody. And this is what I found to work very, very well. I'll take about a cup of that, put it in a 5-gallon pail. On the back of this pump here, there's actually on the downstream there's a quick connect that's on the end of it, and you can plug it into a hose and rinse out that pump really, really well. But we found that cleaning solution works out really, really well. Here we all are, just getting up here, doing a little bit of talking with the participants. There's a couple of them back on this backhand side here. There's a couple of more people just doing a little bit of talking. That's what I seem to do the best of, is a little bit of yakking. Then we went to Golden Corral, and that's where we did the classroom material. And that was us going through each of the slides and talking in-depth detail about cleaning, sanding, sealing. We got the chance to do a little bit of eating, and it was a good little get-together that lasted about maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And then we were able to go out and start to mix Cat 5 here on the pavers themselves. I suggest that whenever you do mix Cat 5, if you're not mixing it in grass, that you do use a drop cloth. I had a few people this week give me a call and say that they dripped some of it onto some concrete where they were mixing. Make sure that you invest in a good $4 or $5 drop cloth. It doesn't have to be anything major, but do all your mixing on top of a drop cloth. If you're going to be cleaning on top of concrete, even on top of the pavers that are there, it's always a good idea to have a drop cloth. Here we are talking to everybody, eating again, doing a little bit of training, and of course spraying down and making sure that we're providing a good flood coat so that we can get all the way down inside of those joints and get optimal joint stabilization. Spraying up around the edges. We sprayed water right along the edge here to create kind of a barrier. We also got done using the shield up around the top area, but I was showing the difference between using a water barrier and then using a shield. I think that's the before and after pictures there. So let me close this off here. We'll go on to our next spot here. Let's see what else we have. There's good old Justin Marlowe putting up some really cool. Got a little emphasis there with our boy Ice Cube and Chris from Friday, giving a little bit of a damn. All right, looks good. Here's High-Low Solutions again with Mike Arnone showing a little bit of the beast here with the curb attachment that's attached to it there. What a great machine. Set up there for 31 gallons a minute, as well as you've got the surface cleaner there with the hurricane bars that are inside of it. Mike's been doing very, very well with manufacturing some of these amazing surface cleaners with the hurricane bar, and the people that have been using it have really been talking about how great it is. So there's a couple of the bars there in the back. Got a training coming up in New York. Martin's is talking about this here. Let me open this up here. It's on September 7th. So if you're in that New York area and you're looking to add some training to this is a good opportunity to come join into some of our intensive trainings that are there. As you'll see, you can click on the link itself, and you'll see how easy this is. You open this up, goes right into it here, come down to New York, right here, September 7th, click to register. It'll open up the page. It's going to have all the details of everything that you need on this page, surface restoration video, all the details, and then all you have to do, it's free. Click the register button. It's that simple. Click the register button, put down how many people you've got going. So if I've got 2 people that are going, and I want to register 2 people, all I got to do is hit register, fill out my information. You'll see how simple this is. Fill in my name's already dropping in there with my email address. Put your cell phone, your company, your work address, city, state, zip. Obviously in the United States most times if you got a website that's there, and just answer one question. Are you new and you've never sealed? Currently sealing with another sealer? Currently seal with Trident? That's it. Just lets us know a little bit about you and how to be able to service you. Accept the policy agreement and hit register. That's it. No credit card needed. It's free. That's how easy it is to be able to register. So let me close this out here. Let me go back to my Facebook. That's right here. So we've got some really good people. I think we're up to around 20-something odd people for that New York training that's there. So looks like we have Bobby looking for somebody in the Venice area. He's in New York looking for someone that could come and do a little bit of work. Let's see here. We did a little post earlier today with the sealer selection guide. You can see that this is kind of an easy way for you to answer the questions and end up with the sealer that makes sense for you, depending on what the customer is looking for. So it's important to find out what their needs and wants are, and this is a good way of being able to find that. Let's go down here to Randy's doing a really cool job with his drone. Let's see here. You can see he's got some really cool pictures going on. Zooming in. Wow. Beautiful pictures. Love seeing that. 2 coats of D1. You can see that just an incredible change there for those pavers. Great work there, Vincent. Glad you're posting your pictures up there. 2 coats of Cat 1 D1. I'm sure it was nice and shiny, and there's no doubt about it that the cameras sometimes do not do it justice, right? So let's see here. Top to bottom pressure washing. Fully cleaned, sealed, and restored. See some great pictures. Quite a good sized job you've got there. How much cyclone for 2 gallons of water here? This is Alec asking a question here on August 24th. How much cyclone for 2 gallons of water? Cyclone is a ready-to-use product, so you don't add any water to it. It comes in 5 gallons that are there, and you're looking at roughly, if you're doing joint stabilization where you're going to harden the sand in the joint, you're going to average between 400 and 500 square feet per pail that's there. If you are looking to just do sealing, you could be anywhere between that 800 and 1,000 square feet. I tend to be around 800 square feet per pail if I'm not doing any joint stabilization. Very similar to when I was talking about sealing the concrete earlier with seawall and break wall. Just give it a stir and let her go. Right, here's Garfield up here giving us some tips on keeping stuff from going into the pool. This is kind of you can see he's got all the chemical and everything down, but he's utilizing some of these barriers. You'll see them over here on the left hand side that they lay down around the pool to keep that stuff from going in. All the gunk and the sand and everything. It's going to help tremendously from a surface cleaner from blowing off into the pool there. A couple of suds from the chemicals themselves, but that's not going to hurt the pool long term whatsoever. Every one of those sealers are biodegradable. Every one of those cleaners are biodegradable, so they're going to do well there. But that's a really good tip there from Garfield. You can see that Daytona Pressure is also promoting the event going to be on September the 22nd there in Palm Coast, which is just a little bit north of Daytona. We've got quite a few people that are already pre-registered for that event. We're going to be cleaning, sanding, and sealing about 2,000, maybe 3,000 square feet of pavers that are there. This is a job that Phil Conway has put together. Him and his crew are going to be there at the same time. So they're going to be getting all the majority of the cleaning and sanding done, except for the areas that we're going to be doing for the training. So anybody that came to this mini Sealer Summit, it's at the exact same location. We're going to clean and sand in the morning. Then we're going to do about 2 hours. We're going to have a really cool lunch. And then we're going to do about 2 hours of training with the classroom material, answer all kinds of questions, get everybody up to par. And then afterwards go out and seal. We're going to seal one area that's already been pre-prepped. That's there. As you can see, here's a picture of the actual pool deck itself that we're going to be doing. So that's a cool project I'm really looking forward to doing. Stephen Staley, I don't know if I pronounced that correct. What's the charge for the class? Right now, all of our classes are free. So make sure you take advantage of it and get registered for them. Levi, client wants a pool deck cleaned and sealed and wanted to know if it can soften at all. They complain it's too rough on bare feet. Any advice is appreciated. Unfortunately, with sealers, you're going to need to do some type of overlay if they're wanting to do that, and that's something that Trident doesn't do. You're going to need some type of an epoxy over the top of it, or they're going to have to get some other type of coating that's going to really create increased mills completely to be able to make it softer. Or they're going to have to either put some pavers or concrete over the top of it. So unfortunately, it's not really going to get softened by doing any type of just normal hardscape sealing that's there. We're talking about joint stabilization here, the joint sand sealer versus polymeric sand. This is a really cool article that has been put up by our company here. You can see technical bulletin that can be found onto the website itself. Joint stabilizing sealer versus polymeric sand. It's a really good article that talks about the difference between the two. So if you get a chance, you can go into our resource library, and that's going to be able to give you all that information when deciding to use either a joint stabilizing sealer or to use polymeric sand or our new resin sand. All right, here's Phil Conway posting up in here, just excited as can be this year, knowing that it is August going into September, knowing that October is up around the corner here. Really, really happy that he's got some good solid crews that are going out working every single day and doing fantastic work like this. You can see this before and after. Incredible work that's there by Phil and his team, as well as this before and after shot of one of the jobs that he's doing there. So we're really excited about what he's doing there. Lots of good comments that came in after that, asking what they charge for paver restoration. Here I am early in the morning. Well, not early, 8:36 in the morning. I think I posted it later. I think I left around 6:30, but I posted it a little bit later in the day. All set up to go up to Charlotte, North Carolina. Got the rig in the front, got everything surface cleaners, and ready to head up the road there. So as you can see, it was a nice little long drive. On the way back, instead of coming back this way, I went all the way into Atlanta, searched out a couple of locations there in Atlanta, and this was yesterday. And then, of course, just a little bit south there, I had to stop and get me some Buc-ee's. So bought about $100 worth of Buc-ee's stuff. So if you come by the office, you can get yourself some Buc-ee nuggets. Here's a really cool piece that that Justin put up in here. Said, I hear and I forget, I see and I remember, I do and I understand. That is such a prevalent piece that's in here. I hear and I forget. I see and I remember. I do and I understand. And that's why our training process is involved with online training, live training, classroom training, and we want you to go out and do about 4 or 5 jobs with the product so that you understand, with guidance of your onboard coordinator as well as your sales rep that's in your area that's there. So anybody spraying in Cape Coral, somebody looking for someone in Cape Coral. Here's Martin up here with a little bit of tidal wave, stripping project easier. So you can see how it's just ripping it right off there, these milky white pavers. You can see that the stripper there, tidal wave, is absolutely taking it right off. And here's Justin again. Loves the color enhancement. Again, makes him look good every time. Yep, that's one thing that you can count on. A little bit of quick repairs from Mickey Brenner, and then doing 2 coats of Cat 5. Of course, a lot of people into it. Here's Lonnie talking about the Houston, Texas event. With Heath and the Texas pressure washing store. You can see that there are going to be some great training that's coming up here. Again, you can click on this link just like anybody else that's right here. Click on it. You're going to see all the details, all the information, the registration, the location. I need to put the address in there. I'll put that in there today. All the details. And then all you have to do is click this register button. And as soon as you do, you fill out, how many people you're going to bring with you. And after you've done that, make sure that you click on that register button and fill in your information. And you're fully registered for the event itself. Let's see what else we've got here. There's 53 members that we did on August 20th. That was not including the 60-something. So over the last week or so, we've had 150-something odd new members that have joined into the Trident Protects Contractors Only group. And here we are. We made it. I did it in 32 minutes today instead of 30 minutes. Had a little bit more information to talk about, but I wanted to go back and review through. Make sure that if you've got questions, you've got concerns, you've got pictures, you want them to be featured inside of our weekly review, go into that Trident Protects Contractors Only page, click on that information, and go from there. Then part of the registration process is that we do have another group, and that other group itself is Trident Protects Master Certified groups. Once you become Master Certified, then you get to be part of that group. The name has changed a little bit into the Master Certified group. And so once you become Master Certified, then you'll be a part of that group. Make sure that you go to the T3 University. We have on the main page here, you can go into Trident itself. If you go to 4Pros and click on T3 University, then you're going to see all of the trainings that are coming up. So we do have an Intro to Sealing on September 1st at 8 p.m. That lasts about an hour and a half. Our next training is September 1st in Houston with Lonnie. Then we've got Martin going to be up in Rochester, New York on the 7th. And then on the 14th, and I'm going to be in Panama City Beach. And Martin and Brad are going to be in Manassas, Virginia. Then September the 16th, Atlanta, Georgia. And then we start the Southern Swing there, which is on September 20th. I start in Jacksonville, move down to Daytona, back up to Tallahassee. Lonnie's going to be at the Wash Shield event there in Houston. Then we're going to be down. I'm going to be down in Fort Myers. And that's when Martin's going to be up in Pennsylvania. I'll be down in Boca Raton, in Orlando. And then, of course, we've got a huge event there in Tampa where we've already got about 40-something odd people registered. And as you can see, it just keeps on going through with all the trainings. We want to make sure that you have all the information that you need to be successful. So, other than that, this is about it. We can go to tridentprotects.com. If you haven't registered for an account, this is what kicks off your onboarding process. Go into Trident Protects. You'll go into, let me log out. go into, click at the top here, log in, create an account, go into register an account, and fill out your information, and then you will have an account online, and that will kick on the onboarding process. So if anybody has any questions, needs anything, by all means, appreciate you guys listening to this podcast or this video cast that's here. Again, 35 minutes long. If you need anything, give us a call, 866-951-4293. Hope everybody has a great day.